4 years ago I made a video. I called it Science Fiction Review. What I did basically was take the books out of my bookshelf that I had been reading in the last 4 years or so, and I spread them out on the floor and started talking about what the reading experiences were. Well, this time it has taken me, as I mentioned before, 4 years to get to having the same amount of books on my floor as I did that time. And I don't know if I remember all of them. I know that I read these, or at least the top 3 rows in the last 4 years. The bottom row, some of those were even in the first science fiction review, and there are a couple books in there that are not science fiction. But I keep getting, comments trickling in every now and then about that old video, and now it's had 3,510 views. Who would have imagined that it would get that much attention and that people are still watching it with the crappy sound and the crappy video quality. But anyway, let's get into a few books that I've been reading in the last, 4 years or so, shall we? Most recently, this one here, the Chrono by Robert Charles Wilson. Very interesting book in that there are these great big huge stones that show up in various places on Earth, and these are huge obelisks, and they try to explain them, and in trying to explain them, this is how they come to be. The one who's figuring out how to make them happen ends up figuring out how to make them happen, and ends up making them happen again. Let's see now. The ones that I expected to be interesting were quite disappointing. But this one here, Perdido Street Station by China Miéville. Notice how last time I mentioned the China Miéville book too, it was excellent. This one's great. It's about these huge these moths that suck your soul. It's real fun. Others that let me go on here. What was memorable? S.M. Stirling once again. Island in the Sea of Time. Very memorable book. I did enjoy that one a lot. And interspersed in here I have a few Jack Williamson novels. Can't say enough good things about the old Grandmaster Jack Williamson. And it's funny that I discovered him only late in my reading The Legion of Space, Jack Williamson. Good stuff. Now, there are a few non-science fiction things that found their way into here, like Farley Mowat's Siberia. That was excellent too. Benford, Gregory Benford, The Sunborn. Yeah, that's good stuff. I don't remember too many details of it, but Benford always has me at the edge of my seat. As of course does Ben Bova, Voyagers. Yeah. You know what's really funny? I just bought new editions of the same things. When you read enough, and enough time goes in between different readings, you find yourself buying the same books a couple times, and that's really bad. Larry Niven, Draco Tavern. It's about a village built for aliens when they come to Earth. Very good. Very excellent. Telsian Trigger. Yeah, James Schmitz. It's kind of like a juvenile thing about these women who are it's just stories about girls in science fiction rather than boys, teenage girls. Real fun. Okay. This one here, Egads by Robert Asprin and Esther. You know what? I did not find it up to the standards of our friend Robert Asprin. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. We're getting into stuff that's a bit earlier, like 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Frederik Pohl. Always been a big fan of Frederik Pohl. Did I mention him? Oh no, that was Ben Bova. Frederik Pohl. Always enjoyed his books. Years of the City. Oh, I remember that one. That's the one where it takes New York City and it follows the life of one man from being a boy to being an important city councilor, and in the end he's like a he ends up dying. You know, it goes through this, follows the city and follows the man as he ages. Quite interesting. Over here, I noticed curiously that there are a few books by Orson Scott Card. I picked these three up on the same day at the same place, and you know what? The guy is twisted. I have trouble enjoying it. It's disturbing to read Orson Scott Card, even though his Enders series was you know, a big deal, and it's sort of like a cornerstone of science fiction. Jack McDevitt. Jack McDevitt really is otherworldly. If you enjoy things like starships that are mistaken for children's toys, it's always a good read. I highly recommend any book by Jack McDevitt. What else have we got here? There's Ben Bova, China Mieville, Jack McDevitt, Fred Saberhagen, Dominion. Yeah, Fred Saberhagen. This was more of one of his Holmes Dracula kind of books, so it kind of goes towards the occult a little bit, and you know, vampires are hugely popular these days. It's like people are wishing for them to be real. Well, I really don't know how long I've gone here, but oh yes, Greg Bear, another one of my favorites, Queen of Angels by Greg Bear. Always a good read. Always enjoyed his stuff since I started reading him, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago, maybe 9 years ago, where he started, it was a series about the world being destroyed and the children that were saved from it in order to keep our species going by some aliens that, you know, are not very well. They're not shown in the book at all. You know, that's pretty much it for the update of my science fiction review. Let's go along into the other room. And I have about 10 years worth of reading on these shelves right here. These are 2 layers deep, and those are also 2 layers deep, and there's some in a bag on the floor there. So, you know, I'll get through it, you know, 1 or 2 novels a month, and maybe 4 or 5 years from now I'll come back and do yet another science fiction review. Until then, farewell.
Fetwick.
Fetwick.